Hello, this is Gregory Ramirez, and this video relates to purpose and audience, which are two basic yet key elements that are going to occur or recur, I should say, both in the essays that you read as well as the essays that you write. So with academic writing, as it says right there, two basic elements of academic writing, as mentioned before, would be purpose, that is, conveying purpose throughout. Anything that's brought up relates to that purpose in some capacity, every example, every thought. Whereas in terms of audience, what's being written is being written, and that you as a writer are making sure that you write to be read by others. Now, as a writer, in terms of making sure that your essay does have purpose, you'll want to ask yourself, why are you writing that specific essay? Are you informing? Are you describing? Or are you arguing? Just a way to maybe start off. But the key question that you are going to want to write to answer as a writer would be, so what? Show your reader why this should matter to him or her. And why does this matter to anyone else besides yourself, that being the writer? Does it matter to you as a writer? If it doesn't matter to you as a writer, why should it matter to anyone else besides yourself? That being said, two things to discuss would be the idea of reader-based as opposed to writer-based writing. Reader-based keeps others in mind and is written with others, with the goal of being read by others, whereas writer-based is meant for the self and isn't expected to be read by anyone other than the writer. So to kind of make that clear, for example, in using something besides college essays, an example might be an instruction manual, certainly would be reader-based because, and often it's accompanied by maybe illustrations, or it's used to go ahead and help you to maybe put together something, maybe like a table or a piece of furniture that you're going to have. So certainly that is reader-based as opposed to a diary. That certainly would be writer-based, as anybody who writes a diary doesn't have that expectation of being read by anyone else or having the content of that read by anyone else. And then also with audience awareness, as a writer, you want to ask yourself, who is my reader? And you'll want to ask, what is it that he or she already would know about what you're writing? What should he or she know? And finally, what terminology or what kind of language or terms might you need to explain or be mindful of, so that way that person is familiar with it? So for example, with initials, what would be the key thing to keep in mind right there, to go ahead and, like, for example, would somebody know what particular words are? If in an election year somebody were bringing up NAFTA, what does NAFTA stand for? You would want to go ahead and state in your essay North American Free Trade Agreement. Immediately afterwards, in parentheses, put the initials for that there, NAFTA. But then for the remainder of your essay, simply go ahead and refer to the initials and not have to write the entire thing out. After that point in the essay, after you've stated what the words stand for and the words in parentheses immediately afterwards, or the initials I should say, you can simply refer strictly to the initials. And keeping in mind that you as a writer, what does a writer, or what a writer does for the reader, it's bridging that gap. So with this basic illustration right here, you can see that the writer is the one that has, on that suspension bridge, the panel right there, to go ahead and allow the reader to approach or to come forward in that dialogue, in that engagement. And you can see that that's what you or any writer needs to do for his or her reader. If there are any questions about this presentation, please contact me. Again, my email address is gregory.ramirez@sccd.edu, or you can go ahead and call my office phone at area code 559-675-4832.